So I haven't been really able to get the latest episode of Smiling Friends off my mind, and I guess I just want to talk about it for a minute because I'm fascinated by it. So first of all, I didn't process initially that Mr. Frog's dad was Creed. I was like, oh, he looks familiar, and I was like, oh, is that Creed? And I dismissed it because I was like, no, that can't be Creed because they painted him in green and he wore brown shorts. And I'm like, it's probably just some Australian actor. I was like, nope, it's definitely Creed. And that is brilliant. I guess that is just a absolutely brilliant, hilarious move. And the more I think about it and how this episode is weirdly very serious is it's interesting. It's very interesting because it's doing something very weird. So this is a pretty funny episode, and it's kind of a parody episode of very serious things, like very serious, important, high-minded things. You can tell because the episode's title is French, and it's like, oh, this is a parody of serious art films, and more specifically, seemingly a parody of when comedy characters get suddenly a lot deeper backstory. And the basic absurdity of all of this is giving a deep, complicated backstory to Mr. Frog, of all people. But what's funny about this is they also do it. It's one of those weird new things in comedy where it's a parody, but the parody is the fact that they're doing it in the first place, and the rest of it is played real, and they also have to do it. And heck, you can even read this into the fact that this is two creators. And this is a comedy now in a weird way, is we've reached this point in parody and comedy culture where you can now do sincere stuff, try very hard to do it sincerely, and do it, I think, decently well. But it's also parody because you're doing it, but the parody is that you're actually doing it. Pretty solid episode. There's something to even be said about it's about a TV star returning home, now successful, and how the creators' lives might play into that, which is also a thing you could examine. But that's the joke. You actually now have to examine the Smiling Friends as real art, but it also is real art. I sometimes think about this in context to a superhero parody, something like The Boys, even. How hard it is to actually do a superhero parody now, because if you were to do one, at some point it would be a sincere superhero movie. And this seems interesting that parody and real are more hand in hand than they used to be. Because honestly, I think the episode pulled it off, weirdly enough, this emotional arc that they did. But I also am laughing. It also is just funny because it's also like, but it's Mr. Frog of all people.